Hello and welcome to another edition of Ask the Young Cow. So we're live on Google Hangouts, and the same as every Wednesday at 1 p.m. UK time, which works out to around about 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time in New York. You have myself, Leon Street, and my co-host,
Jack.
So Jack Rogers. I don't know why he's keeping it short. Okay. So today we wanted to touch on a big update when it comes to internet marketing, and more specifically your website. Yesterday, which was the 21st of April, Google rolled out the mobile-friendly update. A lot of people have already been prepared for this because it was released many months ago that the update was occurring, so you need to have your website mobile ready. But there's a lot of people still out there who they haven't got a clue, they're not even aware that it's going on. So what we'd like to do today is just tackle it for people who have missed the deadline, which was yesterday. So today's Ask the Young Cow is all about preparing your website for the Google mobile friendly update, which happened yesterday. So if you haven't taken action, now is the time to find out some of the answers as to why you need to take action and what to do. So what we're going to do first of all is just jump into our presentation, which should give you an idea of what's going on in terms of the core content today. So hopefully we can get the technology to work, because for some reason it doesn't like to show our PowerPoints. But anyway, so Ask the Young Cow. Remember the hashtag if you want to hashtag us on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, well, not LinkedIn, the first three. We will check them out and see if you've got any questions. The best one is Twitter. So if you have got any questions you would specifically like to ask us about internet marketing or websites, hashtag us and we'll check it out a week in advance, or you can leave comments on this video on YouTube. So let's move on. So is your website mobile ready? I'm going to hand over to Jack at this point.
Right. Okay. So Google have just announced that they are ranking mobile-friendly pages better. So this means that it'll affect the search rankings on mobile devices. It'll affect search results in all languages globally, and it applies to individual pages, not entire websites. So this means every page on your website, not just a home page.
Okay, so you've got a bit of background there, and there's 3 key points, and this information has been published by Google. This was on their Blogspot blog, and so the key thing here is that we're not preaching to you about anything that is, mysterious. These are the facts that have come direct from Google and their search team. So what I'd like to do is move on. So as you can see, Jack's prepared a nice screenshot here of our very own website appearing in Google. And so I'm just going to talk you through this. In terms of the update, it affects only search rankings on mobile devices at the moment. That's all that's been released. So as you can see, we've done a search for a keyword that we're known for, web design Wolverhampton, which is our home city. And you can see as we appear in Google, above we've just blurred out the AdWords results that show up, and we just really want to focus on us here. So you can see that if your website is mobile friendly, it will highlight it in the search results. And so we've got it highlighted here with the red arrow and the red box, just so you can see what is actually happening. So if somebody is searching on their mobile device, which people are looking for, I'll switch over to us so you can see in a bit. Just done a schoolboy error there. Yeah. But if people are searching on a mobile device, they'll be able to see that you are mobile friendly. And so this is a big push really from Google for people who are using iPhones, Android smart devices, that kind of thing. So really, what does this mean? Well, it's really just new criteria for Google ranking websites, helping mobile users to have a better mobile web experience. And that's what it's all about. And so the key thing really is to pay attention to what Google are basically telling you to do, because if you do attract customers to your website as a result of Google, obviously following what Google is talking about is an important thing in terms of how you get traffic. And so, as I said, if you have got a mobile device, whether it's mobile phones, tablets, or that's what your customers use in order to browse your website, then you need to make sure that you make changes so that you adhere to this mobile update. And we'll get into what you can do a bit later. So what I'd like to touch on then is most of our audience tends to be from the UK. We do have some people outside of the UK watch. So we've just picked up on one thing for people who target customers outside of the UK or internationally. And I'm just going to switch back to our presentation just so we can touch on that a little further with Jack covering that part.
Right. I was just wondering if we could just go back to the previous slide. Just a quick note that we noticed earlier with the description. That you'll see just under where it's mobile friendly. Since they've added mobile friendly, this actually takes up some characters from your meta description.
Good point.
So you'll notice at the bottom our phone number is actually cut off. So that's something we now know of, and we'll have to go into our settings to change that.
Yeah.
So I just thought I'd add that little note there.
Very good point, actually. So where you see the 3 dots down at the bottom in the meta description of the screenshot is another indicator as to how much will show up on a mobile device. And that's something that we've got to correct as well. So well spotted there, Jack. And so is it okay to move on?
Yep.
Cool. Over to you.
Carry on with this. Okay, so what Google also has implemented is the search results in all languages globally. So this could be whether you target visitors internationally. So if you use multiple sites for different languages, you use a translator plugin, or you actually have a separate website for mobile. So you might have seen this before, where it has M dot at the get my words out, at the beginning of your domain.
Yeah. So as a subdomain.
Yeah.
Or you may find on other people's websites they have mobile dot and then the domain name. So if that reflects upon how your current website is set up, then this is something you need to take action on in terms of if you do have a separate mobile website, just to make sure that it does pass the checks that Google offer. And we're going to get into the specific page you can go and test to see if your website is mobile ready. And first of all, what we're going to do is move on just so you get an idea of what we're talking about being mobile ready. And so one of the key things, I'm just going to jump up in the presentation, is that what you'll notice about the Google results here, this screenshot was taken on a mobile. And so it just shows you that actually the width of the page has drastically reduced to the screen size of a mobile device. So if you think a smartphone, so I don't know, you're probably talking about 2 to 3 inches across. And so when we're talking about mobile ready, your website really should be adapting to this new size. And I say new size, but it's been around for some time now, but it's just that Google are pushing it through. So what I'm going to do is jump into the key one. So on this slide, it applies to individual pages, not the entire website. So if ever you've been on a website on a mobile phone, and it's the best way to check your own, to be fair, if you find that your website looks like this on the left, where the text is small and you have to pinch to zoom in, then that's probably an indicator that your website isn't mobile ready. So that's why we've got the red cross here. And like I said, these graphics and the information we're pulling here are direct from Google. If your website is mobile ready, what you'll find is that your website will adapt to the screen size of your smartphone or mini tablet. And you'll see that it should fit on there without somebody having to pinch to zoom in to see the information on the page. What they should have, in fact, is just a long column where they flick to scroll up and down to get all the information. So your website responds to the device. And so that is probably the key indicator there. If you use your own mobile phone, if you haven't got a mobile smartphone for whatever reason, just because you've been living under a rock for the past few years, then there's another way that you can test. And so I am saying this quite lightheartedly, but to be fair, by now you should have a real feel for how many people do visit your website via a mobile device. It's growing. I'm sure it varies depending on what industry you're in. But put it this way, it's now around about 25 to 50% for a lot of industries that use mobile devices when they visit your website. So if that's not an indicator of you to have your website mobile ready, I don't know what is. So take action. And so what we're going to do is switch back again to our presentation so we can move on and tell you how or where you can test your mobile device.
Right, is this me now?
This is you, Jack. This is all you.
Right, okay. So what we've done with the Hangouts, if you can see it, we've put the link that you can see on screen now. If you're watching this on YouTube, we'll put it in the description below as well. So what you do is you go to this link, and there'll be a little field bar that's similar to where you type a web address.
Yeah.
So you need to put your website in there. So just www.youngcow.co.uk for us, and then click the analyze button. And what this will do is search through your whole website and every single page you've got. So if you've got a lot of pages, it may take a little longer than a website that's only got 10 or so pages.
I think specifically when the tool runs, you can test individual pages, so it will test your home page as the primary one. If you do have a specific mobile website, you can test that specifically as well. So right. I don't think it exclusively scans the whole site. I think it is right. Just the one page. Carry on, Jack.
Okay, so for us, once we did the test, you can see the picture on screen now that says awesome. This page is mobile friendly. So our website has been seen as mobile friendly, which is why earlier on in the presentation we saw the screenshot that had the label mobile friendly.
Okay, great points you've added there, Jack. And so basically, if you do the test, you click on the link. We have got the link live now. If you are on Hangout Live with us, we will put it into the video description on YouTube, so you'll be able to get the direct link and get to this mobile test page on Google's own websites. But you're looking for the result that says, awesome, this page is mobile friendly, and then they'll put a little graphic on the right hand side like we've got, showing that your website is mobile friendly and it fits onto a mobile device. You're just looking for the green words. That's the key thing there, guys. So specifically, what action can you take if your website isn't mobile ready? I'm going to lead on this one, if that's all right, Jack.
Yeah.
Right. There's two core systems that we tend to come across with our customers, and they're WordPress and Magento. WordPress for CMS or brochure style websites, and then you've got Magento for people who basically are selling online as e-commerce. Now, if your website is using these technologies and it's not mobile ready, the quickest or the fastest route that you can take is to probably pick up a third-party theme that is already mobile ready or responsive. Responsive is the alternative word that it's known as. Responsive simply means that with a responsive theme, it will respond to different screen sizes or different devices. So it's similar to when we say, is your website mobile ready? Now, if your WordPress website isn't mobile ready, what we suggest you do is go on to probably a template site, something like Theme Forest or Template Monster, where you can purchase a theme for around about $50 to $100, and you can start to upgrade your website so that it is mobile ready. The same applies with Magento, where you can go onto these same template sites, pick up a template for around about $100 to $150 for Magento, because they're a bit more expensive, and you can end up with a theme that allows you to now be mobile ready. Some important things to bear in mind. What happens when, or what should you do when you upgrade your site first, Jack?
Well, the first thing you should do is back up the one you've already got.
Brilliant answer. It's like we've scripted that,
yeah.
But we haven't. I can feel the telepathy going on there. Anyway, so make sure you back up your website before you perform any type of upgrade, whether you're upgrading the theme or plugins, whatever you're doing. So we're talking about the theme here to get your website mobile ready. So back up your files, back up your database, so that you've always got a backup and never work on the live site. Perform this update in a test environment, in a subdirectory or a test server. Make sure everything works. Make sure all the pictures and everything loads as you would expect. And once you've got it working on your test server, roll it out to the live production site. So if this is something that you can pass to your web design company or somebody who you outsource this type of work to already, do that. If this is something that you would struggle with, speak to us. We'd be more than happy to help you if you're running WordPress or Magento. If you've got a HTML website and you don't use any type of CMS system like Joomla, Drupal, or even other e-commerce systems like OpenCart and PrestaShop, please get in touch with us. We'll be more than happy to help and give you some guidance and advice on what you can do and where to go to look for a solution. So I think we've roundabout covered most things, haven't we?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. So as we pointed out, the rollout for the mobile update was yesterday, 21st of April. So we're now past the deadline. So what I would say at this point really is that it's time for you to really consider, is Google a place where you get traffic from? Because if it is, what should they be doing?
They should be doing exactly what we've just talked
Yeah,
about.
exactly. And so there is no pressure being applied from us. This is already rolled out by Google. All we're doing here is trying to give you a bit of advice. So if you are a small business owner or you're part of a small business marketing team and you've heard about the update, obviously now you know where you can go to make changes. I don't know why, but the screen seems to have gone a bit blurry again. Hopefully we're not out of focus here. Let's see if we can change it. There we go. We'll just make it a bit clearer before we close out. So if you want to get any advice, we'll put all the links, the details in the video description on YouTube. But remember, each and every Wednesday, you can catch either myself, Leon Street, or Jack Rogers here, or the two of us together if one of us is not away. And we'll be here to answer your questions. Remember, hashtag us on, what's the hashtag?
ATYC.
I knew I'd catch you out.
Hashtag ATYC.
Okay, so ATYC even. See, I'm catching myself out now.
Yeah, payback.
So Twitter is probably the best place. If you are hashtagging on Google Plus or Facebook, sorry, we will check it out again. We hope you've enjoyed this episode and given you some food for thought, and also pointed you in the direction of solutions for you if you aren't mobile ready yet. So until next week, Wednesday, guys, thank you very much for watching, for listening. How do you want to close that, Jack?
I don't know.
You know,
Put me on the spot again.
Okay. Catch you next week, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.